Welcome to another SuPA exercise video. So today we'll have 5 exercises for you that you will do for 30 seconds on and 10 seconds off to get to your goal of either 5, 7, or 10 minutes of exercise. There's always going to be a variation to make the exercise easier or a variation to make the exercise harder. Remember for all exercises to have a sturdy chair nearby without wheels. This will help with the balance during standing and give you a good base of support for our seated exercises. Make sure that you're wearing sneakers or athletic shoes during exercise. Clear your space from any clutter or objects that are on the ground so you can move freely. And make sure to bring all of your exercise equipment near your chair prior to starting. Remember to always do what exercise variation feels the safest for you, and if you have any questions, ask your health coach. Remember that we're trying to get to the eventual goal of working at a 13 or 14 on this Borg scale, which is somewhat hard. If you need to start off a little bit lighter in a 10 or 11 range, that's okay. But again, the ultimate goal is getting to a 13 or 14. All right, get all of your stuff together and have a great session.
Equipment handy, so perhaps a set of weights or water bottles. Have a good sturdy chair nearby so you can hold on for balance if needed. We're going to get started here in just a moment. So our first exercise is just going to be a standing march. So you can start by holding onto the back of the chair and lifting up one leg and then the other. So here we go. Growing up nice and tall. You don't have to bring the knee up so high. You can make it a little bit smaller if you need it. Especially as we're just getting our balance kind of warmed up. Checking in with the breath. Nice, good breaths here. Maybe starting to feel the heart rate come up a little bit of an increased work of breathing. Last few seconds here. And take a rest. If your balance is feeling great, you can go ahead and let go of the chair. Hands can come onto the hips or by the side. If not, always hold on to the chair and do whatever feels comfortable. We'll come into another one here. So lifting up, opposite leg, or alternating legs rather. I kind of land in a little bit of a wider base, rocking from side to side to feel a little bit more stable, but do whatever feels good to you. Chair is always an option. Or if you want to add the arm swing, you can as well. So if you're feeling really good and you want to make it a bit harder, just find a range that's comfortable for you. Last couple here, and take a rest. The next exercise we're going to do is the side step. So while we're getting kind of warmed up, we'll just hold on to the back of the chair, and we're going to step to the side, and then bring our other foot to meet us. And then step to the side and bring our other foot to meet us. Get a little bit of a bend in the knee, so you're a little bit lower as we do this, so the hips are just a tiny bit lower. It's going to make us feel a little bit more in our legs as we do this. Now, if that doesn't feel great on the knees for some reason, that's okay. You can stand tall, and we're just kind of stepping from side to side, almost like a little dance. Good job. Chair is here for balance if needed. And last one, take a rest. So if that felt good, same thing as the other one. So you can go ahead and let go of the chair. Hands can come onto the hips if needed. If not, keep holding on. We'll get ready for another round. So stepping to the side and back to center. Good. So we're opening the legs. The feet are coming to meet each other. We have a little bit of a bend in the knees. Good work. Doing what feels safe here. So we can always modify this if moving from side to side doesn't feel good from a balance perspective. Last couple. And let's go ahead and take a rest. Next exercise we're going to do is a reach overhead with a tap of the leg. So essentially what we'll do is we'll step out to the side and bring an arm up overhead, and then we'll switch. So here we go. I'm going to hold on to the back of the chair just to show that variation again, so we have a little bit more balance. You can play with your range here. This can be a tiny tap, that's okay. And it can also be a small shoulder movement, that's also okay. So it doesn't have to be the full thing, whatever feels right for your body. And remember, that can feel different from day to day. So today it might feel great, tomorrow it might not. Whatever works for you in this moment. Last one, take a rest. All right. We'll do another round of those again. So find the variation that works for you. And try to start to get into that moderate pace. So here we go. Tapping out, lifting the arm up and overhead. Good work. Making the step smaller if needed. Big breaths here, so checking in with your breath. Inhaling as you come up overhead, maybe exhaling as you come down. The chair's always nearby if we need it. Excellent job. Last one. We'll come into a wood chop now. So you're going to widen your feet a little bit. And we're going to start on one side, and I'll tell you to switch halfway through. So reach both hands up over to one side, and exhale, bring them down to the opposite knee. And then inhale, stand tall. Exhale, bending down. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, bending down. A couple more like this. And we'll switch sides. So now up and over to the left. Exhale, coming down. You can make this range a little bit smaller, so you can keep the elbows bent if you need. And again, we're trying to work on both getting that rotation and a little bit of a bend in the knees and straightening the legs. Good job. Take a rest. Shake it out for a moment. All right, so for this next one, we'll start up to the right again. So reaching up to the right, widening the legs, and we're going to exhale, come down, bend the knees a little bit, and then inhale, come up. Exhale, bending down. Inhale, straighten those legs, coming up. Last one on this side, and then we'll switch. So up to the left and down to the right. Getting that rotation, that good leg work. Making it smaller if needed, that's okay as well. And take a rest. Final exercise we have of this series is going to be our cross-body jab. So again, a slightly wide stance, a little bit of a bend in the knees, and we're going to exhale, and we're going to punch across the body here. Here we go, 30 seconds. Good job. So belly buttons are active and engaged. We're moving with our breath, reaching from one side to the other. If you're feeling good, you can pick up your pace, maybe making it a bit more challenging on the breath. And take a rest, shake it out. Last round of exercise within this series. All right, here we go. Small bend in the knees and exhale and punch across the body. Squeezing those belly muscles as you reach that arm across. Again, if you're feeling good, pick up that pace. Feeling like you're working out in that moderate sort of range. The breath comes up a little bit, but you're still able to have a conversation if needed. Last few seconds. And take a rest. Shake it out. Awesome job. If your goal was to work out with us for 5 minutes, then you are done for the day. If you're staying on for 7 or 10 minutes, then take a little bit of a longer rest. Grab some water if needed, and we'll get ready for our next round here in just a moment. For our next round here in just a moment. All right, we're going to get ready to come into our standing marching. So here we go, lifting one leg and then the other. Yep, and if your balance is feeling great, you can let go. If not, keep it here. Playing with your range, you can make it nice and small if needed, or work on getting those knees up to about hip height. Great job, keep growing tall, standing up, belly's engaged. And last one here, take a rest. We'll get ready for our side step. So maybe coming a bit closer to your chair again, so you have that if needed. We'll get a little bit low, and we'll stay low as we step to the side and bring our opposite leg together. And stepping to the other side, bringing the other leg over. Good. So as we stay low on this, we might start to feel the leg muscles warm up a little bit more. Again, if that's too hard, stand tall as you do it, and just step from side to side. That's okay as well. Chair is always here if you need it. But if you can, get that little bend and try to stay there. So almost like we're sliding underneath a short ceiling here. Beautiful work. Last couple seconds. And take a good rest. We've got our overhead reach and tap next. So we'll step a leg out, reaching the other arm, or the same arm up and overhead and coming back to center. Here we go. Up and over. So right leg and right arm tap out and away from the body, and then left arm and left leg. Great. You can play with your range here if you want to make it a little bit smaller. So leg comes out, beautiful job. And then right leg out and over. You can make it a smaller tap if needed. Make the arm a little bit smaller if needed as well. Last one, and take a rest. We'll come into our wood chopper. Another way to think of this one would be like a golf swing. So widening the legs a little bit, we're gonna reach up overhead, and then we'll come down across the body. And then swinging back up to the same way. So we'll switch halfway through. So whether you want to pretend you're chopping wood or swinging a golf club, whatever works. We get that bend through our legs. And last one on this side. And then we'll switch. Reaching up towards the left and coming down towards the right. Moving with that breath. Last couple, and take a rest. Final exercise in this round, we've got that cross-body jab. So we'll get a little bit of a bend in the knees, nice big breath in, and as we exhale, we'll come into our press. So reaching across the body, punching from one side to the other. Core is nice and active. We're drawing that belly button away from our shirt, getting a little bit of a twist through our trunk, reaching those arms long. You can lower this motion if the shoulders bother you at all. It doesn't have to be a chest height. But if it feels good, try to keep those arms up. Last one, and take a rest. Beautiful work. All right, that's the end of our 7 minutes. So if that was your goal for today, then you are all done. If you are staying on for 10 minutes of exercise, we've got one more round of exercises to do. So take a big breath, grab a sip of water if needed, and we're gonna get ready for our standing march. So you can come back near the chair again if needed, and we'll get started now. Lifting one leg up and then the other. Final couple of minutes of work here to get us through our exercise session today. Moving with the breath, but definitely feeling like it's getting a little bit more into that moderate range. Hands can be on the hips, at the side, or on the chair. And the range can be as big as feels comfortable for you, as long as you feel safe and in control. And take a rest. Next exercise we have is that side step. So we'll hold on to the chair, we'll get a small bend in the knees, and we'll step out and bring the legs together. Step out, bring the legs together. If you feel good with your balance, hands can come on the hips, that's okay. Now remember, if this doesn't feel good to stay low, just stand tall, that's okay as well. We can still get that hip motion and movement, but if you can, try to get that little bit of a bend in. You'll feel a little bit more effort from the glutes and from the quads. Again, chair is always here to help support you. And last one. So we've got our overhead reach and tap next. So we'll step one leg out to the side as the arm comes up overhead, back to center. All right, 30 seconds, here we go. Tap and up and over, back to center. Tap and up and over, good. Big breaths. Great work. Now if you feel comfortable, you can pick up your pace a little bit. Making sure we're in that moderate range. And again, just being mindful of how big of a step you're taking. So you can make it smaller if needed. This can be a little bit of a tap so you feel more within your base of support. And take a rest. Next one we have is our wood chop or our golf swing. So we're gonna widen the legs, get a little bit of a bend. Reaching up to one side and coming down and across the body. And reaching up, down and across the body. Good work. Couple more on this side, and then we'll switch in just a moment. Last one here. Core is engaged, and then we'll switch. Opposite side now. Getting a little bit of trunk work, a little bit of leg work, Exhale. Last couple, final one, and take a rest. Last exercise of the day. Widen the feet a little bit, small bend in the knees. Arms come up to chest height, and we're gonna exhale, punching across the body. Here we go, last 30 seconds. Find your pace, find your breath. Again, you can always go lower if the shoulders are bothering you, that's okay. See if you can feel how those core muscles help you to get that rotation and get a little bit of power behind this motion. Arms, trunk, and legs are working during this exercise. Last one. And that's it, we're done for the day. You guys have made it to your final 10 minutes of your SuPA exercise program. Take a rest, grab some water, and have a great day.